Your Excellencies, leaders of SPLM and other political parties, Your Excellencies, members of the diplomatic corps, comrades, ladies and gentlemen, from the beginning, I would really like to congratulate all the members of the National Liberation Council for the dedication, commitment, and perseverance they displayed over the last 4 days of hard work. In spite of our prevailing security situation in our country, we have remained focused on the task which is developing and strengthening our party. So before I proceed, I would like to update you on the current political situation, particularly our relationship with our neighbor, Sudan. As I have stated on numerous occasions, and you rightfully confirm through the Security Committee of this August House, the SPLM does not intend to take the people of South Sudan back to war. However, we will continue to defend the sovereignty of our country. Our forces that were obligated to repulse the invaders back to Hijlik have now returned to their positions. It is a common knowledge in any war situation that if you are attacked, you have to repulse the attackers, and when you repulse them, you have to pursue them to the maximum distance that they will not turn back to come and attack you, so that you minimize whatever dangers that are expected. That is what happened. That is what our forces did. They were not the invaders. They just pushed back those who invaded our territory. The Republic of Sudan continued to bomb us throughout the week, and you have heard the Antonov hovering over Juba here. And so that is a clear violation. This morning, there was very intensive bombardment over Panakwait, that is near Jau area. And up to the time when I was coming, the bombardment was still on. And because of this, people should not be worried that they know there is something big is going to happen. We have to take it the way we have been taking it throughout the years of the struggle. And because of this, I'm giving this order to the governors of the 5 states that are at the front line. The governor of Upper Nile, Unity State, Warrap, Northern Bahr al-Ghazal, and Western Bahr al-Ghazal states. These people, it is just to alert them that when they go back, they have to sensitize the people in the area, mobilize them, and make them alert about whatever impending invasion by Khartoum forces. But at the same time, they must ensure that the Sudanese citizens in their states along with their properties, must be protected. And this also goes back, to all the governors of the 10 states in South Sudan. Wherever the Sudanese citizens are, they must be protected. Nobody should touch their property. Let those who are mobilizing, beating the drums of war in Khartoum, let them beat them. But the citizens of Sudan who are with us are innocent. They don't have anything with those people. We must remain engaged with our brothers and sisters in Sudan out of what the system wants to do. So please, you do that when you go back to your states. There are so many Arab nomads that cross the border seasonally to come to your states with their animals. They should not be denied water and pastures. They must be allowed to graze and go back when the rains come in, provided that they should not come with weapons. This is the only thing that we should not allow. Anybody coming with a gun has to be told either to go back with his gun or his animals are not allowed to enter to the territory of South Sudan. These are very serious external threats, especially from the Republic of Sudan. And these things are intended to undermine our sovereignty and territorial integrity. Sudan will continue to aggress us through direct invasion and occupation of some parts of our country, or sometimes by proxy, sending in the other armed groups. Economically, they have already stopped the oil, and that will continue. They are still continuing to bomb the oil fields. These situations have already generated very negative publicity, which is threatening our investment. And it was intended by Khartoum that having seen South Sudan going with oil, then they should not be allowed really to establish themselves. And so that the investors are scared out of South Sudan, and this is why this intensive bombardment has started. SPLM as a party, or as a leading party in the Republic of South Sudan, will continue to pursue the track of dialogue, peace and reconciliation as a priority. The strength and efficiency of our military to be able to protect and defend us will always be ensured. And we are working to make this thing possible. When you organize your army in your country, does not mean that you want to invade somebody, but you start with your self-defense first. And so, this is what we are always considerate of. We will also pursue a policy of national youth service. This is what I said the other time, but I have not put it into order. We have the youth, and if it comes to the state, already there is that mobilization that each state in the state of Sudan is to provide one full brigade, which they call Liwa Rada. Liwa Rada al-Bijahazu fil Walayada. I think these people might have forgotten How many people returned from Liwarade Ulma Rasalu Sanatamano Tamanin, Al-Ja fi Junub hina? And how many returned from Saif al-Ubur, Al-Kanjas and Itnin Utisain? How many went back to Khartoum alive? They should not forget these lessons. But let them beat up the drums of war and let them come. I always appeal to the people of Sudan not to allow their children to be blindfolded just because of religion. We don't have any problem with religion. We don't have any problem with any Arab race in the country. So, when they beat the drums of war and they come in, Ali warada betom al bijibu wala divisions but arada al bijibu, I don't think that they will all come here and go back safe. So our youth also should be mindful because, as I said the other time, the country is ours. And the young people always volunteer to defend their country if the danger comes. This is where the youth will also develop nationalism. Because this tribalism, where people are dying, should not really be allowed to continue. We have been divided for so long time, and we have come to the stage of maturity that we must know what is good and what is bad for us. When I see my children in the University of Juba here fighting one another, I feel very sorry that these people really do not know what they are doing. If they knew that it was a mistake that they are doing, I'm an Equatorian, I don't want somebody from Bahr al-Ghazal, I don't want somebody from Upper Nile, what does it take, where does it take you to? You are the leaders of the South today, and they will be the leaders of the South tomorrow. You better talk to them, tell them that what you are doing is rubbish, it is a self-destruction, and you better stop it. This meeting has indeed been a success since over 4 days now that we have been sitting here. We have challenged ourselves to address how best to strengthen the SPLM and to make it a more progressive and productive party. While, as we must be proud of the many accomplishments that have been achieved over the past 23 years, and particularly in the last 5 years, we should seize the positive momentum to push our agenda further for the benefit of the people of the Republic of Sudan. The National Liberation Council is one of the most important organs of the SPLM, in which we have the opportunity to engage, debate, and define our way forward. During the Secretary General report, all of our internal structures needed to be developed. This must be from the Boma to Payam, county, state, and finally to the national level. This is important, and we have to do it. It was also clear that we need a lot of internal discipline among the members, and we must create a mechanism of orientation for newly accepted members. If people talk about indiscipline, don't think that somebody will come from outside to come and discipline you. You must discipline yourselves. and how to discipline soldiers. For those of you who were leading troops in the field, you have to stand before them and then you tell them the wrong things that they do, and you punish all those who make wrong things the way you can punish them. To discipline them does not mean that you want really to destroy them. You punish them so that you bring them back to the pole. So discipline is needed in this party. And if you are to lead the nation, as you are now the ruling political party, you must be exemplary in terms of discipline. It was also clear that SPLM caucuses are only functional at the legislative assemblies and not in the executive arm of government. We want this thing to be changed, that if the members of the legislative assemblies can now remain focused and have been doing all that has been told to them to do, then why not other levels? We have also to do this. Thus, as a matter of priority, we must establish executive caucuses to ensure that SPLM policies are implemented accordingly where they are. The financial situation presented by the Secretariat, it looks very healthy. Nevertheless, it has the potential to be even better if we all paid our contributions accordingly. It has been recorded that there are 2.5 million members registered in the SPLM. Low 2.5 low if they are registered. Ishtirakat beton bamshiwen. Lo can be it foul. You would have been the richest political party, but you are not doing it. Say Nazil al Musajalinda, are they there? Mata dina kalam kede sakit, you know. If they are there, then tell them that, you know, pay your membership fees. Pay what is supposed to be done by a member of that political party. I hope you don't dream one day that I will come and dish my hand into the government coffers so that I give you the government's money. That will not happen. If I give you, I will have to give the other political parties. Well, okay. So you must depend on yourselves, and then you create a situation where you have fund-generating activities, so that you can raise your own money. It was clear from the presentation that out of the 2.5 million members, there is only a small percentage that is consistently paying their contributions. I have already said it, and I would like to congratulate the National Assembly members who have diligently paid their contributions without fail. No month that they have failed in paying whatever is needed from them. We have been assured that our investments are bearing fruits. It is therefore important for this Council to endorse the formation of an autonomous investment and resource management bureau that will manage our investments and income generating activities. If you do that, then you will free yourselves from all these things. You form that body, and I believe the body will go on doing everything together with the Department of Finance in the SPLM. The oil shutdown has threatened the general economic situation of our country. The government has instituted austerity measures to reduce expenditure from 880 million to 650 million South Sudanese pounds per month. It is necessary so because if we don't have oil money, then it will be difficult for us to maintain the highest level of the expenditure that we have been using. And so this is what the government did to reduce the expenditures. And we are still working hard to see how do we find alternative sources for revenue generating. It is important that we as a party have an economic strategy cluster that will consistently analyze the economic situation, develop policies, and advise the government accordingly. It should come from you also. That strategy must come from you, so that you direct the government where it should go. My dear comrades, the 7 working groups which were formed on the 3rd day of our meeting have now presented their reports and recommendations, and we have adopted the resolutions. It is important that these resolutions are not just shelved and become part of documents of your libraries. They have to be implemented as soon as possible. We have now embarked on a journey to both restructure and to conform to the current political realities of our party. I have just signed the political parties bill, and it requires that within 90 days of the formation of the political parties council, all political parties in the country must be registered. And you have to be very careful about this. As the governing political party in the country, we must be an example, respecting our own laws. Therefore, the committee that will be tasked to review our basic documents should take these recommendations into consideration and use them to make the necessary arrangements that are required in these documents. Once this review process is over, an extraordinary national convention will be called to adopt these documents before they are presented to the political parties council for registration. While we prepare ourselves for the implementation of these recommendations, it is important that we start adhering to the membership requirements of this party. As I mentioned in my opening remarks, only a disciplined party can mobilize people towards an agenda and constructive program. The Secretariat must develop a mechanism for orienting new members while ensuring compliance with the recruitment procedure as stipulated in the Constitution. We must engage members in regular party activities and programs at all levels. This is how we will be able to attract, maintain, and motivate our members. If a government desires to provide basic social services to its people, your SPLM-led government is not exception. The social services remains a priority so that we can improve the lives of our people. Many people are concerned about how are we going to achieve our goals without the much needed funding from the oil sector. Well, that is a question, and we will answer it when we find a solution. It is not just a concern which matters. Concern without functioning, you will not do what you are supposed to do. But if you are really concerned about what you want to do, you have to, you will get a solution. The cabinet has ensured that this sector is given priority in the current austerity measures budget, and we call upon our development partners to continue to work with us to provide services to the people of South Sudan. Meanwhile, we are doing all that we can to ensure that this current situation is reversed within the shortest time possible, while ensuring that valuable resources of South Sudan are not wasted. We have directed the Secretariat to develop a roadmap for the reorganization and restructuring of the party, and this should be the starting point of that process. I trust that as we leave this conference, without any delay, the necessary mechanisms that will facilitate this process will immediately be put in place. My dear comrades, as we reviewed the 7 committees, it was clear that there are many challenges. However, we must remember that the process of our liberation struggle, the political negotiations and implementation of the comprehensive peace agreement were not easy. Even though challenges, obstacles, and painful losses, the SPLM has never been discouraged from moving forward. So let us do all these things with that background in mind, that it was not an easy walk to this freedom that we enjoy today. Instead, the challenges have united us, and they made us stand firm during the struggle. Therefore, we should not be overwhelmed by the challenges that we have identified. Once you identify the challenge, you will be in a position to solve that problem. They should not overwhelm us, and we should not panic really that there is a big problem coming in. Instead, we must move forward with the process of restructuring and reorganization to enable us to quickly overcome all these challenges. We must articulate our vision, redefine our core values, and revisit our strategies and programs. This will revitalize us as we shoulder the historical mission of building a free, peaceful, and prosperous South Sudan. Again, I congratulate you all for a successful meeting of the National Liberation Council. Thank you to our partners. I will say thank you to our partners who worked closely with us in the SPLM to ensure a productive meeting. As we leave this place, we live with a renewed sense of commitment and hope and clear vision for the way forward, and I'm confident that each of us will do our part to build a very strong party for the benefit of our nation. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Wish you all well. SPLM oye. SPLM oye.